I was praying this morning, and for some reason I was praying about lepers. I guess I like them. You do too? Okay. So, but we're human beings and we're kind of only skin deep, if you will. So we think leprosy, we go, oh, scandalous skin disease. Maybe it itches. Maybe it's smelly. And then we go to Jesus interacting with lepers, and you go, oh, he cures them. And their skin is like a baby's bottom now. No itch, no smell, cure. But Jesus and lepers, it's not about cure, it's about inclusion. That's the whole thing. So if you read about lepers, you'll see that the main pain and suffering is that they lived outside the camp. That was the whole deal. In the end, they didn't care that much about the skin. They cared about the fact that they lived outside the camp. So in my own prayer, and I'll mention this in sort of a brief way only because maybe people, I know how the grapevine works. So on September 15th, I was supposed to give a keynote address at this big national Catholic conference in San Francisco, and Homeboy was going to get a big-ass award. And last week, I got a phone call disinviting me, saying, you can't come. And the reason is a kind of a small group of kind of radical, right-wing, extremist Catholics got a hold of a YouTube video interview I did about 3 years ago, where they asked me about gangs and stuff. And then for some reason, I guess because I was a priest, they started asking me churchy things like my opinion on Prop 8 and the ordination of women and who can't receive communion. And I never say no comment. I'm allergic to no comment. And I always try, you just say, here's an opportunity to preach the gospel. That sort of makes sense to me. So I made the mistake of answering those 3 questions as Jesus would. Big mistake. So now I'm kind of in deep doo-doo. And who knows, I don't think much will come of it, frankly. But I think even in our church, there are people who are outside the camp. Gays, women, maybe divorced Catholics. And Homeboy Industries is a place where you will get concrete help. And if you cooperate, you will find healing here. And you will gain resilience. And you will come to terms with stuff you've done and damage that's been done to you. And you will re-identify who you are in the world. Maybe you used to think courage came from packing a gun, and now you can look at that and say, no, that's cowardice. Now I see it. So you get help here and you get healing here. But above all, this place stands for those who live outside the camp. And that's the way it should be. Because the overall goal of this building is not just to help you, but to long for the day when the word outside is not part of our vocabulary. For Jesus, it wasn't about cure. It was about inclusion. So find a way today to welcome somebody, to be hospitable to somebody, to identify somebody who's outside. Bring them in.